I can make X amount, but I wasn't realistically saying, yo, I have this expense that I got to pay. So I can't save my whole entire check because I got bills to pay. Like the real world actually like set in and I'm like, all right, well, I ain't going to hit that goal.
Well, why you felt you wasn't going to hit that goal?
I mean, I just realized that it was an unrealistic goal to set for myself, being that I was started off as like that's like you telling yourself, yo, in 7 or 3 years, I'm going to be a billionaire.
Can I challenge you? Why is that goal unrealistic?
When they ask what this is, tell them this is what the true black image is. One life collective, no black nemesis. One fight, protection of the black premises. This is black privilege. When they ask what this is, tell them.
Welcome to the Black Privilege Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the Black Privilege Podcast. We appreciate all the support that we received so far. And we're really, really, really excited for a little bit of a spinoff from what we normally do. And this episode is the HOMIES podcast. And we got my boy Odane to my left. Yo, what's up, bro?
What's up, bro? How y'all doing today?
Yo, we chilling.
Yeah.
Y'all chilling?
Yeah.
And we got Matt.
What's
Matty
good,
Ice.
What's good, guys?
And we got Diamond himself in the flesh.
What's good, bro?
Yeah, you got to be sharper than that, bro. You got to be sharper. I know you feeling kind of sexy right now because you got the cardigan.
You ever see,
you got the,
any music video with Ursher? I feel like Ursher right now.
Ursher?
Yeah, whatever his name is.
Oh, my God. And obviously, we not going to forget the video god, Danny in the flesh himself. It was good, my guy. Good. Hey, I'm going to just start off by just revisiting this cardigan. And maybe we get a zoom in during the edits, but nigga, what was the inspiration? What the fuck is going on right now?
I just
you in your GQ bag, my nigga?
Bro, like, it's I'm gonna be serious first. I'm trying to wake up every day and be the man I see myself being in the future.
Hey.
That's number one.
Amen.
But two, sometimes you gotta step out your comfort zone, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got mad Jordans, but I'm trying to switch it up. I'm in my 30s now, so bro, that's the inspiration. I'm trying different things,
All right, I feel you on your GQ. What I said? GQ?
GQ, baby.
Yeah.
GQ,
GQ. And so Odane, we're excited to have you on. Obviously, this is the HOMIES.
I appreciate it, man.
Man, you the homie. We've known you for a long time, man. Do you got a
10
nickname?
plus?
10, definitely. We definitely 10 years
10
deep.
plus.
Yo, so wait, hold on. Do you got a nickname?
I beg not to share, but I guess for this episode, I'll share.
Okay. All right, so, because like, we ain't know whether to call you
Nah, Odane. But the Jamaican side, they call me Tweety.
Word.
Yeah.
Now, is that a common nickname?
Word. So where did you get that? Where did you get that from, bro?
I think my dad gave me that, to be honest, yeah.
Where did inspiration come from?
Maybe I look like a little Tweety bird when I was a baby. I don't know.
Gotcha. That's daddy baby right there, huh?
That's what's up. All right, so, Tweety. So now I ain't going. Yo, fam, how we do it here is we always start our episodes with a quick little mental health check-in. Usually it's like scale of 1 to 10. So I'm gonna have Diamond do that so you can get a little bit
Mr.
of a
GQ.
Yeah, Mr. GQ himself. So go ahead,
all
my
right,
guy.
man. So, guys, every episode we like to start with a mental health check-in, just to, reflect and discuss how your week was. It could be a high, it could be a low. It's a safe place, that we do this. We want everyone to feel comfortable when they're, talking. So Matt, I want to start with you, rate it from 1 to 10, and then talk about, maybe 1 low and then 1 high.
I'll give it like an 8-9 because this weekend was my birthday. On Friday.
Let's clap it up.
Happy birthday to the bro.
So pretty much, like when I woke up, I kind of woke up with some good energy, and then I wanted to kind of reflect a little bit, being that me and my brother had a conversation, on the last year and maybe some goals that I want to reach personally and then also with the business. So I felt good. Went out on Friday night.
Turned up.
Got a little lit. Well, more than a little lit. I really don't remember. Don't remember getting back to the crib. I just know that this guy over here got me back safe. So, Saturday I just kind of chilled. Had to recover half the day, but and then today I'm here with you guys. So it was a good, solid weekend. 1 low, that I would have to put. is whew, just I feel like I could be further along than where I am right now. You know, at the age of 31, but I know that everything, you know, happens in time. And just because I feel as though I should be somewhere doesn't mean that that's necessarily where I should be at that point. So when high, yeah, it was my birthday, so
That's a big
That's
high.
That's dope, man. That's dope, bro. Yeah, you made a great point, man. I think a lot of our viewers feel the same way, you know, in terms of that low. But that doesn't necessarily mean that you're not where you are supposed to be in real time. Let's go to Mike next.
Let's see. On a scale of 1 to 10 over the last week, I give it about how am I feeling? I think I give it a 9.5, 10. I don't really have anything super negative. I would say, all right, one high is this. And this is a plug to Young Scholars Institute. I just want to say this. I've been trying to get my goddaughter on an HBCU college tour, and there's been a bunch of programs through Trenton to give those kids that experience. And the great thing is not only is she going to be able to go, but she's going for free. And that can be quite expensive, you know. So, and, you know, she doesn't necessarily come from, you know, a privileged background. So, you know, I tried to do everything I could to make sure she was able to do, you know, use your networking, connections and things of that nature. I stay on her, making sure she takes, you know, more, you know, challenging courses while she's in high school. And this is a big time. Like, you know, that transition, like after your junior year, like you're usually doing applications and financial aid and all that stuff. And then leading into your senior year, that's when you start, you know, things start happening. You start finding out where you get accepted to schools. But I wanted her to have that experience. So the fact that she's going to be able to do that, you know, her spring break is after this following week, not this week right now, but the following week. So she'll be able to go take care of that. All I have to do is just, you know, help with giving her some spending money. So that was definitely a high. A low, I would say, is maybe I've been a little bit lethargic, you know, and I just think it was just the week, you know, like you just go through a week and it's just mentally draining just from work. But that's about it, bro.
That happens, man. That's great. That's great, man. Let's go to Odane.
Mental check-in. My week been
So Dane, like, you know, let's start with a rating. Okay. So
Rating,
how would
yeah.
you rate your week, bro?
yeah, rated a 9.
Okay.
Nothing,
That's good, man.
it's the same old week. Nothing really changed. The high for the week was celebrating Matt's birthday.
Yeah.
31.
Sure. Yep.
Then
I'll throw that in there too.
I said the low is not having too much time for myself, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, but that can always get corrected. I just gotta rearrange stuff that I do. Yeah.
All right.
That's not bad, man. It's, you know, it sounds like everybody in a good space, which is that's what we want to hear, you know. But of course, you know, we had those realities. And I'll end off. I'll say, you know, my week was, you know, a 9. As far as a low, I would say similar to Matt, like me not being where I want to be, just in, you know, real time. But, you know, a high is that, you know, I went to a fitness event this past weekend, and you know, my brother and I, we learned so much that we can take and implement into our business to grow the business. You know, we pay for that knowledge, but we also are going to apply what we learn. We're not just going to listen and not use it. So I'm excited, you know, for this upcoming week moving forward to apply some things and, you know, and grow the business.
I love that, man. I love that. And honestly, that's a great segue, especially what you two said. Because I honestly just want to have just a frank conversation about like success. I would say this. So, and my background for this is this: everybody always has like New Year's resolutions.
Sure.
You know, everybody lists their goals, what they want to do for the year in order to improve, be better. And the goals for a lot of people sometimes are usually common. You know, they want to either lose weight or get stronger in the gym, you know, be more committed. You know, it might be, I want to make more money, or it might be educational. But all of those things are goals that people set at the beginning of the year. I kind of got away from that, and my New Year's kind of starts on my birthday. So the reason why I'm saying that is like I use that as like kind of like a mark for me. Like, all right, where have I reached? What have I done since I turned 30, 31, and then just this year 32. And hearing what you and Matt said about you feel like you're not where you're supposed to be, that means you want more for yourself. And I just wanted to ask, and this is a frank conversation. I really want to talk about success with y'all. I want to break it up in 4 parts. I want to talk about, it could be 3, but mainly 4. Like, I want to talk about financial success. I want to talk about mental. I want to talk about spiritual. And honestly, I want to talk about personal. And the reason why I said I broke personal off is because each of us have a different life journey. Mm-hmm. So I want everybody to just talk like frankly, openly, and honestly about what you really think that is. And I do want to start with financial because that's one thing that we see on social media. Like, oh, you need money. And of course you need money. And being that we got Odane on here, like I'm gonna put you on the spot, my nigga. Like I want you to start off first. Like, what is financial success for you? What does that mean? What does that mean? Like in terms of achievement and all that?
Financial success, I would say not really worried about like, I would say bills. Like like I like having my bills on auto pay. That's the sweetest shit ever. I ain't gonna
worry about it. Yeah.
But to me, I have a goal for like probably $1 million. I think I'll be comfortable, but I don't know until I get there if I'll really be comfortable. Mm-hmm. But I read the book 48 Laws of Power and never go past your mark. So that's the mark I have for myself.
Word.
For like financial success.
Okay.
Yeah.
You want to go a little bit deeper though? Like you said like $1 million. Like is that like annually? That's like
no, I think that's like just everybody go just to touch $1 million. Like you get what I'm saying? Like
so basically,
I always want to see what it feels like
to
touch $1 million.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So having $1 million in your bank account, that's where you feel.
Yeah, like I could do it. You make 10 million, ain't gonna really 5 to 10 ain't gonna really make a difference. Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah, you could buy whatever you want within that $1 million, but to me, it's like all right, financially, like I'll be cool with $1 million. Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
Do you think Mark?
Yeah. Do you think if you had $1 million, that would be comfortable for you? Like.
Yeah, that until I get there, who knows?
Yeah, but like you just personally.
Yeah,
like,
personally, that's a goal that I want to reach, like financially, like touch like $1 million.
Touch $1 million.
They talk about an M every time. All right, I want to see what an M feel like. You get what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're going to get there.
Yeah.
Nah, facts. Yo, what about you, Matt? How you feel about that? What's financial success to you?
Financial success is, I mean, pretty much the same where you don't have to worry about bills, like, but if I had to put a number, I would say a bill. It would be the goal.
What would be a bill?
A Billy, yeah. Honestly, just because I see what a mill is, like how many millionaires there are. Like so a mill is comfortable or cool. I'm trying to get to a bill. And I'm just looking at it like as in personally, when I have being that I want to invest in properties and whatnot, I feel like once you hit a certain amount of properties, like the money would start coming in even quicker. And then I was always taught that you should have at least 3 to 5 sources of income. So if that's one and I'm doing other things, then I'm gonna reach that mill real quick. So
you said real estate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So so once that's my goal, a bill.
Word. How about you, Donnie? I'll add me.
I would, if I had to put a number on it, I really don't have a number when it comes to finances. But if I had to put a number on it, I would say $1 million, similar to Odane. For me, it's being consumer debt free. That's key. And because you could if you got to buy a house, you're gonna have to go into debt if you weren't born with money, inherited money. So being consumer debt free, also being able to do what I want when I want, and be able to provide the resources for my children. So if I could do those things, for me, that's financial success. It's not, if I never hit $1 million and I'm still able to do all those things, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I like
I
that
agree.
answer, yeah.
I agree with
Financial freedom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
And you also talked about a little bit like generational wealth.
Mhm.
So it's like, it's not, it sounds like what you're thinking is it's not just with you. It's like what you leave behind.
Right. Like for me, I don't think it's my responsibility it is my responsibility to go as far as I can in life, but then it's my children's responsibility to further that legacy.
I was just going to say that. I was going to ask you a question. I was literally just thinking that.
Right.
Mhm.
Like, you know, there's certain adages or at least like statements that are said by parents like, yo, I earn this.
Yeah.
I earn this.
Mhm.
Like, I work my ass off to provide a roof over your head, a better opportunity because I struggle. I know my pops has said that. He was dirt poor. And that's a lot of like what, you know, like in the country of North Carolina, used to say, yeah, like, you know, I work my ass off to be able to provide for you guys to have a better life and have better opportunities. But when it comes to that though, like what would y'all expect in terms of that, like that once you reach that financial success, like what is expected of the people that come behind you? Like say if you, this is what I'm gonna say, when y'all reach y'all goals and then y'all have a family, is something you want to instill in your kids or whoever it is? Because it doesn't necessarily have to be your kids who are the people that take on whatever it is that you leave behind.
Well,
I mean, it don't matter. Y'all,
Okay.
well, you really gotta teach your kids.
Mhm.
That's what you gotta do. You can't just be like, yeah, I did this. They not gonna experience the same time. They never grew up in struggle,
Mhm.
so they won't like
Mm.
have a grasp of like what you went through. They're just gonna be like, all right, my dad made this money. All right, it's just up to you. Be like, all right, this is how you manage your money, and just keep going on so
Mhm.
forth. You get what I'm saying?
I
Yeah, I
agree.
definitely do.
I agree.
Mhm.
I think one thing I'm gonna try to instill in my children is like, you know, while I'm here, what's mine is mine. You got to get your own.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, because you could not want to do what daddy did. You know, you might want to be a doctor or a lawyer. You might want to be an artist.
Mhm.
It's my job to instill certain things into you. And if you decide to take on what I've built already, it's there for you to take, but
Yeah.
it's mine. I'm not going to give it to you if
Yeah.
you don't want it. You know? So I think, you know, that's the biggest thing as far as instilling in children so they understand that even if, say, I am extremely successful financially, you still have to earn what you want in life.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like no matter where, even if you decide not to do what you do, you'll still be set up for success mentally. And you already have that discipline and that knowledge that no matter where wherever you decide to go, the way you handle your finances and your trajectory for what you want to do, you already have the goals that have been given to you by, you know, that's what it sounds like. They can pivot. They can pivot however they want to.
You will have the tools because you know that nothing is given. No matter where we are financially, you know that nothing's given. You got to go get it yourself. So
But
yes.
that's what you're teaching them mentally.
Right.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
mental fortitude.
Yeah,
Because
because
then-
all right, for instance, they ain't gonna know where you came from. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they gonna
Yeah,
you
they
gotta
can't
teach
speak
them
to that.
mentally.
They weren't
You
alive when
can't-
you were going
y'all
through
not
that.
gonna speak
Yeah.
the same language. You get what I'm
Sure.
saying? Yeah,
Sure. But it's
But
interesting.
that's where you ask them where they have goals. Like, what are their goals? You ask them that from a young age because you elaborated that they gonna probably want to do their own thing. You get what I'm saying?
You just never
Yeah.
know. You know, you have families who people they grow up, they graduate college, go into the family business,
Mm-hmm.
or you have people who go and say that's not
Yeah.
for me,
Mhm.
which I respect and I understand.
Yeah.
You know, however, the kids should be able to go out and chase their goals, and that starts in the household
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with learning. Hey,
Mhm.
you want money to go to the movies? Are those dishes washed?
Yeah.
Is that trash
Yeah.
taken out? Is your
Mhm.
room clean? That's discipline, and that's also learning that I'm not going to give you money because you're breathing.
Uh-huh.
It's not to be mean.
Yeah.
It's to set you up to be a productive human being and
Yeah.
to always know how to go get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know?
So I got a question. So do you think that when you have a kid, right, giving allowances or allowance, do you think that's something that you would do or wouldn't do?
I would.
I think they should be free spirit with money. But
What do you mean by that?
I say free spirit is be like, all right, say my son, I give him $100. I'd be like, yo, spend what you want. But like, if you spend too much of this money, you gotta work your way up back to that 100. You get what I'm saying?
So let me make sure I'm understanding it. So you give him 100, right?
No, I'm not saying he worked his way up to 100. He was like, oh, I want this. You know how life is when you pay for something, all that money is gone.
Yeah.
So he got to learn, like, yo, you got to put in chores, all that to get back that 100. Yeah.
So allowance wouldn't be, so that wouldn't be like an allowance. That would just be like a one-time thing.
No, it wouldn't be a one-time thing. He's working for it. Like, say I give him like $20 a week.
Okay.
You know, within like 4 weeks.
That he'll get to that 80,
5
right?
Yeah. 5
Oh,
weeks.
that makes sense.
Yeah, but if he spend all that, he got to work hard just to get back that 100.
He's out of money.
Yeah, he out of money.
Gotta wait.
Yeah, you gotta wait.
He gotta feel the burn, like how it feels to be
Real life,
broke now.
budget.
Yeah. You got budget. You be like, all right. The thing. All right. The one thing I learned is, say if you're trying to buy a product, don't spend more than 3 times. I forgot the saying.
Whatever you can afford.
Yeah, you can afford. Yeah.
If you can't afford to buy it 3 times, then
don't buy it.
Yeah, don't spend that money. Yeah.
Word. I like that. I mean, you can speak. I mean, we're talking like when we'll have kids, but you got
True.
2 sons,
Yeah.
so like that's good. Like at least you starting them off like
Yeah.
on the right foot about how you want them to go about it. Elaborate a little bit more about that though.
Yeah.
Like I know they're young right now, but
is that something that you do now?
Yeah. That's what I was gonna ask.
They get allowance.
And how?
I'll still pay for stuff for them, but like,
Of course.
if he really wants something, I still feel as though I need to still instill that into them. I feel as though I don't push that hard. It's an idea right now. Not a really idea, but I talk to them about it every time.
Word.
I got a question, Odane. So, what are the pros and the cons to your method?
The pros,
You know-
they'll learn how to money manage. You get what I'm saying? The con, your feelings gonna get hurt.
Got you.
If you don't save that money, you get
So
what
you're
I'm saying?
teaching them that
Yeah.
it could be hard sometimes,
Yeah.
but even though they kids and they
you,
good,
You can
but
always,
for them,
alright, the thing I'm trying to teach them, you can always rebound from. Say you going to that. There's no end of the world. You can always rebound
Facts.
yourself. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Money comes just like you spend
So,
it.
so
Love
I got a question though. All right, so I kind of do something similar to that with Kai, right? And I'll like when we go out, I'll give her the option, like, yo, you can get this or you can get that, and every single time, like because I said if you just save your money, whatever you have at a certain age, I'll double. Every single time she don't spend any of her money, like she'll put it in it to save it because she wants me to double it.
Yeah.
So like
That's a goal for her.
So do you see when you give your kids, do they spend like what pattern do you see? Do they spend some of it or
Yeah, they'll spend.
Or
They'll
save.
spend some of it. Yeah.
Word.
Yeah, they'll spend some of it.
Word. Well, yeah.
Because I feel as though it's like it's more. They feel good emotionally. They'll be happy if they get it. Like right away. Instant gratification.
And what I notice or what I do is like if I see her like say no, I'm gonna go put it in my piggy bank, then I'll be like, all right, I'll get it for her like throughout the week.
Yeah.
You know, and then give it to her because she chose, in my opinion, the better option.
Yeah.
You said something about instant gratification, and you said something about mental fortitude, and I wanted to kind of like bridge those because those are important. I think that a lot of times when it comes to success, like or at least like trying to get to where you want to get to, like I've even been a victim of it where like you put time and effort in terms of like chasing your goals, and many times you expect like what you're working for to happen overnight. And I feel like even to a higher degree, the younger generation may be like that. Like, I mean, because technology gives you that or affords you that ability to expect that. So sometimes it parallels to the work they put in. They're like, oh, I done put in like 3 months of building something. Why am I not an overall success? Especially when you see videos going viral, you know, like what's his Risa Tisa? Like we talked about this like earlier. Like she went viral after putting out all those parts about like, you know, her marriage and all those things. We see viral videos on TikTok, on Instagram all the time. So people are like, oh, I can go viral if I have a good idea. But sometimes life ain't like that. So when you talk about like, cause you talked about instant gratification, I think that comes from people seeing that. But then that mental fortitude, when things don't happen, when people expect what, like, I want y'all to talk a little bit about that
I
and
want
how
to
you would
touch on
address that.
something, man. I want to touch on something before we, back to the allowance thing.
Mhm.
And I think this kind of ties in a little
Okay.
bit, but we'll further
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
your question. I'm not giving my kids allowance.
So are you gonna pay them as an employee?
That's something that we can talk about down the line. I want for my kids to ask daddy for allowance. So if you want allowance, okay, write me why I should give you allowance and what you're going to do.
Mhm.
With the allowance.
Mm-hmm.
What is that right there? That's a business plan.
Mhm.
Let me, right.
That's an agreement.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want allowance that bad, okay, write me a 1-page paper as to why. Because you
Ah,
have
I
to
see
present
what you-
that.
I
And
see
you,
what
need,
you're
and you need to present that to me as to why I should give you anything.
I like that.
You put
You're
time
gonna
in.
eat.
You
Yeah.
putting
You're gonna
time
have
in.
food. You're gonna, but it's not about, like I said, it's not about being mean. It's about getting them ready for when you're gone.
You got to put time in. It's
No,
not
listen,
something that
is
you
that-
ask
yo,
for and you just get.
Exactly.
I get what you say about that.
Is that
I
like
get
a
what you-
loan? That sounds more like a loan. You
It's
get
not
what
a
I'm saying?
loan because, like I said, if you
Oh,
write,
they don't have to. pay
what,
it
so
back.
you got the things that are mandatory. You got to eat. You got to have clothes on your
Mhm.
back. You got to have shelter over your head.
Yeah.
You want me to give you an allowance, something you don't need,
You get
But
So
something that you
you-
want.
something that you want.
But
So
Oh, yeah,
let me
go
let me
ahead.
finish.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. And in my mind, I'm already fine with that. I want to give my kids whatever they want.
Mhm.
But I'm going to teach you, just like when you got to go to a job and present a resume, you got to write a business plan for you to go get a loan.
Mm-hmm.
You want my money that I earn, right? That I don't need to give you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Write me a 1-page as to what you're going to do around the house, what are you going to contribute to the household,
Mm-hmm.
right? And every week, if you can live up to what you told me you're going to do, I will be
Mhm.
happily to pay you. But you're also teaching your children how to open their mouth and ask for things
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah.
Because
Closed
sometimes
mouths
you
don't get
have to,
fed.
you
Mhm.
have to ask people for things. You
Close
have
it,
to
yeah.
network. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Mike, I just wanted to touch on that before.
No.
we
I
move
thought it was a
forward.
good tie-in.
Yeah.
Okay,
From what
okay,
you just said, I
right.
thought it was because that's not instant gratification.
And what if I
It
say
take
no?
time. Like
And
you
right.
gotta put time to write that up and come up and think about the
Exactly.
reasons why you want to
So-
do what you.
You're challenging them in so many ways to teach them how to think. And then what if I say no?
Then they gotta go
Yeah,
back
what
to
if-
Go back and figure it out. It must be something in there that I didn't see.
But that's also mental fortitude.
If they come back,
you gonna
I know.
fold?
Exactly. I might say no just for the hell of it.
Mm-hmm.
And if they don't come back, I might drop hints. Man, I should see that paper again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to just tell you, but I want them to figure it out and think logically
Yeah.
and not give up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The world is cruel, man. Let's be real.
Shit will
By
eat you up and
yourself,
spit
yeah.
you out, bro.
You got to have
That
thick
ass.
skin or you got to have a good support system.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the times that you might not have those things? Can you rely within yourself, within God,
Mm-hmm.
to keep moving forward?
Yeah.
You know, look at Tyler Perry, man. He became a millionaire, in his 40s or 50s or something like that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, life never ends, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, but that was 15, 20 years of putting in work. Going to,
It's
you
what
know,
people don't see.
doing,
Yeah,
showing
and-
plays and only having 5 people in the stands or going to touring the cities and having 10, 15. It wasn't an overnight thing.
And that's
you know?
and what you're saying, and then that's what I was kind of, when you, I love how you tied it in, but Matt, you absolutely right. Like the instant gratification of things, like working for what, like, and having that mental fortitude. That's like, and I'm glad we're talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just to also connect another aspect to what we're talking about. Tell me what y'all think about this, about the fact that like many times we hit certain age marks,
Mhm.
like we'll hit like, all right, 21, 22, usually if you're going to college, you graduate. If you don't go to college, whatever you decide to do. Then many times people say, oh, you need to be married at a certain age. You need to have a certain job at a certain age. You need to buy a house at a certain age. A lot of those things, I think, like talk about like success or at least like achieving things. What do y'all feel about like when you don't like hit those milestones? Or have you gone through that where you felt like you needed to?
Is it all right? So I've had it happen to me and where it was like pretty much I hit that mark, and then there was an instance where I didn't hit that mark. And like when I didn't hit that mark, like my goal was to be a millionaire at 25. 25 was a number that I said that I was going to have a kid. a whole bunch of other things. I was going to be married by 30 after having a kid at 25. So certain things didn't happen, but I had to look at it like, yo, hey, I didn't hit that $1 million, but I'm still alive. I'm still healthy. And I still have an opportunity to get to that point. And I just looked at it like, hey, it just wasn't meant to happen at that age. So,
But who gave you those timelines though?
I mean, it was self-pressure that I put on myself at the end of the day. You know, like, and it wasn't, a lot of times people see through social media, like I'm supposed to get to a certain point by a certain age, but I don't really look at social media and dictate what I'm supposed to do for myself or any goals like that. It was just simply goals I made on myself, and it was just pressure that I put on myself to reach a certain point.
Yeah.
You know, without really like realistically like sitting down and being like, yo, if I graduate high school at this time and then I get my first job at this time, ideally I'll be making this X amount of dollars. So I gotta wait 10 years saving up a certain amount to get to that
Do you think
point.
maturity plays a factor with that?
I mean, absolutely.
I mean, you talk
grow.
about high school. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You after high school, you're not really thinking about you feel as though like you're gonna be at a big boy job, but you think about like, all right, I graduate high school. You think about your little part-time job, you about to make X amount of money.
I mean,
You get what I'm saying?
I was like, all right, I graduated high school. I can get into the school district because of a networking, and I can make X amount. But I wasn't realistically saying, yo, I have this expense that I got to pay, so I can't save my whole entire check because I got bills to pay. Like the real world actually like set in, and I'm like, all right, well, I ain't gonna hit that goal.
Why you felt you wasn't gonna hit that goal?
I mean, I just realized that it was an unrealistic goal to set for myself, being that I was started off as there. Like, that's like you telling yourself, yo, in 7 or 3 years, I'm going to be a billionaire.
Can I challenge you? Why is that goal unrealistic?
Yeah.
If you're not positioned the way that you're supposed to be positioned, then...
That ain't what I asked you, though. I asked you, why is it unrealistic?
Because if I'm not... Like, I'm looking at it like...
I don't think he's saying it's unrealistic. I think he's saying it's realistic, but it's unrealistic to think that you can have a lofty goal without putting in the work and positioning yourself in a way that you are setting yourself up to get to that. It's the same thing as saying, like, if I'm going to be a pro athlete and I'm never in the gym working on my shot, dealing with a trainer, and going to practice and learning and studying film, how the hell I'm gonna be a pro? Like, what the fuck am I doing? I got an expectation.
And that's what I was asking.
That's where passion comes in. Once you passionate about it, bro,
facts.
You can, like, you just think about it all day, you can hit it.
Anything possible. But like what Mike said and Matt, what you were alluding to, you got to be putting in that work. Just like we talked about Tyler Perry, 10 years in the head, 5 years in the head. Some people they make it happen within a year. You know.
And I think it goes back to like sacrifice on the real. Like some of us don't want to sacrifice. Some of us want to chill. We want to party. We want to do what we're doing. And we don't want to put the time in order to get to where we got to go.
You know what I call that? Wasting your time.
Yeah. Wasting your time. Nah, that's that ass. Yo, but look, like, yo, that's an instant gratification.
As soon as that's done, you go back to your regular life.
And then also that mental fortitude. Like, yo, can I be disciplined enough to be like, all right, I'm trying to get here. I know that it's going to take me, I got to cut this and out. Like, and it might not be for a long period of time. But it's a temporary gain. I remember my favorite quote that sticks with me is from The Great Debaters by Denzel Washington. He said, you do what you have to do so you can do what you want to do. And that shit has never, ever left my mind whatsoever, especially the goals and things that I have in my life that I want to achieve. It's just like, damn, it sucked. All right, well, I guess I ain't going to this party tonight. And they always are gonna be there. They always gonna be there. Temptation gonna be there.
Now, Mike, that's sacrifice, right? Like to the young viewer out there, I got a question for y'all, fellas, man. What does sacrifice look like in your early 20s to set yourself up, even your late teens, to set yourself up for where you want to be in life?
Sacrifice to me is working nonstop, 60 hours a week. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because by the time you hit 35, or depends on what your goal is, you want to have a certain amount of money. Because you could do stuff financially at a young age. I mean, at around that age. Yeah, you can go on vacation, all that. But realistically, like, you still have a young mind, so you ain't.
Got you.
Yeah.
Sacrifice. Go ahead.
But if you really put in the work from that age, you don't know how far you will go. Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
All right. So, I mean, at the age of 20, if I would tell somebody what to sacrifice going out to parties, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sacrifice vacations. Sacrifice just chilling like past a certain hour.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you out at a certain hour, then you ain't sleeping. So then when you know, like, you need sleep, you need your rest, so you can get up and be productive. But I really honestly think, like, I look at it like, yo, if I sacrifice 5 years or 3 years of not doing not going out to parties, not going out, like taking a vacation, then I can set myself up where, you know, maybe if I invest into a property, that can be paying, you know, like for my vacations. That can be paying for if I want to take a day off. You know, like, so that's
Well, I disagree with that. Like, part of what you said. Like, I think that there has to be a balance. So, I'll answer your question, but I'll say this. In terms of the time that you offer, I think that it is extremely important to have a life-work balance. It's extremely important. So I think that, you know, like, if you're always going out, like vacation, yeah, but like, there's certain ways that you can enjoy life at the same time in your 20s, but also make sure that you keep the main thing. There's nothing wrong with going on a 3 or 4 day vacation. Hell, even if you have something that you're working on consistently, there's nothing wrong with taking a day off and being like, you know what, today I'm going to the beach, or you know what, I'm going to spend a weekend. As long as it's not like, it's not egregious to you, like in terms financially or what you're really trying to accomplish. I really do believe in that. And I think what it does is, especially travel, will open your mind about certain things that you just do not know.
Yeah,
you'll meet people, you'll meet people that you wouldn't have expected to, and you will learn a great deal about, and you never know who you'll meet. But to answer your question a little bit more specifically, because I get what Matt's saying. I get his intention. It's kind of like, not, if it's not trivial and you're not just picking up and you just going, I get that. But I would say this, like, in my personal opinion, if I would say to somebody that's 20, like, don't worry about FOMO. Don't worry about the fear of missing out. And the thing I struggled with was the ability to say no. And the reason why I dealt with that is because I was always I'm gonna be real, I'm a people pleaser. I will sacrifice my own personal happiness for the things that I need in my life in order to put a smile on your face. And then I resent myself because I'm not doing what I need to do. And I think a lot of people deal with that. Like, we want to be accepted. We want to be liked. But when you got shit you got to do, sometimes you just going to have to be like, hey, yo, I love you, bro. But like, today ain't my day. This weekend ain't my day. And that don't mean I don't love you anymore. I just can't be there because I'm trying to get somewhere.
So, Mike, does saying no contribute to your success?
Absolutely.
Right. You know, I want to say something, man. You know, my boy Johnny Quest the Rebel.
Shout out Q.
He taught me something in like the last 2 weeks. And this comes to what you're saying about saying no, right? We have two ways of thinking, right? You know, one way you think, when you make decisions, you base them off success or instant gratification. A lot of us make decisions based off of instant gratification in the now. So for instance, if I'm a person trying to lose weight, right? Let's say I didn't pack lunch today, right? If I'm about to go out and buy lunch, do I go to Five Guys or do I go to Salad Works or Salad House? What decision should I make that's going to contribute to my success, right? I should go to Salad House or Salad Works as opposed. So sometimes you have to make those decisions, you know, whether they can be hard sometimes, you know, but that's best for you.
I'm going to Five Guys.
Yeah.
Oh man, you going to Five? Why you going to Five Guys, bro?
It's right around the corner. It's convenient. I want that
discipline just went right out the window.
He said instant gratification.
I feel that. Man.
Nah, I fuck with it. I would say this too. Like, one thing I was also thinking about is personal success. I know, like, I kind of like, we talked about like mental fortitude, spiritual, well, not really too much spiritual. And I would love to address that as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that is important. And maybe we can bridge that with personal success. Like, I really want, like, I want to know, like, where do y'all see yourselves? What do y'all want from y'all lives? Outside of just the money that you make, what do you want so you feel complete and whole as Black men?
Me, I want to watch my kids grow.
Mm-hmm.
I want to be happy with the woman I choose to be my wife. And then, I don't know, I just want to be financially free. And then anything we want to do, it's just there. That's it.
How about you, Matt?
Can you repeat the question?
So in terms of nigga, was you paying attention or did you zone out on me this time?
I was listening.
Like, God damn, exactly,
man,
bro.
those phones gonna sound good.
Yeah, I know where I'm going after this. I'm nigga zoned out. All right, let me repeat the question for you, Matthew Kayoko.
Damn, gotta put the
Hell yeah,
government
the
out.
whole government, nigga.
I know his name is MKC, man.
MKC, nigga, well, AKA Matty Ice. But when this nigga be zoned out, Matthew Kyle, and I could do that. The question was, outside of like financial success, obviously we talked at great length about that, but in terms of feeling like your complete self as a Black man, what does achievement or success mean to you in all its aspects? Your personal, like what you want.
Okay, so personal success would be that I have at least 3 to 4 properties.
Mm-hmm.
I'm financially free, like Odane said, and just healthy. Like I don't have to worry about an oxygen tank, or I can get up without the use of a cane, or like being able to run with my kids, because you can have kids, but if you ain't healthy enough, like to chase them and do activities with, it's kind of gonna be like,
yeah, I got all this, and I can, that you're right,
you're gonna
bro.
be watching. Mm-hmm. So, like, I personally want to just be healthy, and to start to create generational wealth.
Mm-hmm.
I love that, bro.
Got you.
Man, how about you, Dom?
Just being able, man, to buy a house and give my children everything that they need to be successful, and my wife everything she needs to be happy and successful as well. That's it. I don't, for me, like, I don't need no personal success. I don't do what I do for me. I do it for my brothers. I do it for my mother, and I do it for my wife and my future kids. So as long as everybody around me is happy, I kind of agree with Mike. I'm a people pleaser, but I think that it's for the right reasons.
Mm-hmm.
I know when to say no and when not do nothing I don't want to do,
Mm-hmm.
But it's about the people that I love. As long as they're happy and I can get them things that they need to be successful and happy, that's what success is for me.
Now, that might be one and the same, but you said something like, I do it for my mom, for my brother, for my family, things of that nature. At least the life I try to live, I ain't perfect, but like I try to like be somewhat of an inspiration, whether it be my brother or my goddaughter that I mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question, just anybody can jump in, but like what you said, personal, like your personal happiness, is that also being fulfilled as well, though? I wanted to ask that. Because I know it's a little bit, I said personal success, but some of that.
Happiness. So happiness is a weird concept to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think you should enjoy your life. I think you should be happy. But I come from nothing, you know what I mean? So for me, happiness is not at the top of my priority
list. It's not a luxury,
list.
that you can think about right now. It'll come.
Right, it'll come.
Mm-hmm.
By me being, I don't want to use the word unhappy, but by me
Discipline.
having that discipline and dealing with the ups and downs of life. Because life is always going to be ups and downs. You can have all the money in the world and still be low as the person that has less than you.
Yeah, that's first.
And not happy. Yeah.
And not right. So, bro, like I said, bro, for me personally, I'm not worried about personal happiness. I'm worried about the people around me.
Yeah.
I could be happy sitting by myself in the room with nothing on the TV, just being there and being alive. I'm good.
But in terms of what you do on a day to day,
That's
yeah,
that is the happiness right there.
word.
You're a fellow Sag, I can relate.
Oh, say it again, Odane?
You're a fellow Sag, I can relate.
I am a Sag, like you, bro, right? You know?
You could just be by yourself
And
just
I
be
could
content,
chill, bro,
yeah.
and be happy, you know what I mean? Just, think
Yeah.
about good thoughts and things like that, you know? So,
I agree. I like that answer.
Mhm.
Because at the end of the day, I think that we're all doing it, like for the people that we love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah, I agree
Definitely,
with that, man.
bro.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll answer the question too. I think personal success for me would just be one spiritual. Like I don't need to go to church every day, but because God knows I don't.
Man, I went to church enough for a lifetime.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Right,
Yeah, and
where's mine?
being a PK, bro, like me and Matt, we could tell you, that, like I'm much more focused on spirituality than religion. Like as long as I pray, I have conversations with God like I'm talking to y'all. I would
Right.
be like, yo, what's good, my nigga?
Right.
People
How
might
you
disagree
doing?
with that, but I'm like, hey, yo, my God, I
Yeah.
need you to help me out. Like I'm ass out.
Mm.
Like my God isn't everybody's God. Anyway, I don't want to go on a tangent,
Yeah.
but what I'm
Yeah.
saying is like that's something that is important to me. My spiritual, my mental health. That's why I go to therapy. I want to make sure that I'm as whole and complete. I'm not perfect, but as self-aware as I can be within my own realm, so that when it's time for me to get married, have kids, that I can be able to be that source for them and be a perfect example. Obviously I want the house. I want a healthy relationship with my kids, a healthy relationship with the spouse that I'm with. I want to have fun. That's success to me. And then at the end of the day, I don't want me, my partner, and my kids to ever want for anything.
Mhm.
So whatever that
Definitely,
entails
bro.
with what I need to do on my end, if anything should happen, it's taken care of. And I just want to make sure, another thing success would mean is just making sure that even outside of the immediate family I create, that all my friends, all my family, they're all living well. We all are on different journeys, but as long as you get there and
Right.
being able to like have the capacity to help in any way, my friends, family, yo, Mike, like I need this or I'm going through this, and me being able to help,
Yeah.
that's success to me too. So I guess it kind of builds into what you were saying, Diamond, and also you were talking about Matt and Odane. So that's where I'm at with it.
I'm not on Black Friday, but is your mental success, your mental wellness tied to your spiritual success?
I think that, yes, I think it is, because at some point, not everybody believes in a higher being. Your spirituality can be based on, and for some people, it can be based on your natural surroundings. Some people might believe in the sky, or their everything might be meditation. That's how they get their spirituality, but that also helps. That provides a foundation for their mental health, because they
But
have.
for you, do they tie?
That they do. That's why I brought that in. And that's why I believe, yes, it does tie. I think that part of me in my mental journey is understanding that I speak to a higher source that I believe in, that I can go to and I can speak to and talk to about the shit that's going on. Like when I get up on every Monday morning, I sit there and I ask God, first I show him grace and humility by thanking him for everything he's given in my life, including my friends, my material possessions, all those things. And then what I do is I pray for everybody that I care about. And the last thing I do is I ask God, yo, give me the fortitude to be able to handle the stresses, allow me to learn something new, and allow me to accept and be a blessing to somebody else. When things get hard, give me the mental fortitude to be able to handle them. And then what I think is, based on, especially with the therapist I have, based on that, like we do bring elements of that into our therapy sessions. There is a spirituality that we do talk about. And I think that does help, because I think that for me personally, it gives me a little bit of a framework, a foundation, something to really build off when it comes to that. Because if my spiritual ain't right, chances are it's like all connected.
I agree.
That's how I am.
So
Do you agree? Like, what's your experience?
I can't really speak on that
Mhm.
because I'm not like in the headspace like where I'm going to therapy on a consistent basis and going to church. So I really can't speak on that.
But you read a lot of like self-help books and you'll spend time just...
Yeah, I mean, I read self-help books. I read the Bible. I read the Bible multiple times.
Mhm.
But it's like, I can't say that one is connected to the other 100%.
Matt, is that something that you want to do? You know, like the church, going to church more than therapy more, or?
Not, I mean, yes and no. Me personally, I don't really like church. It's cool, but I'm not one to say, yo, like, you have to go to church because of the fact that I've seen so many things in church, you know, like contradictions, the whole nine. So as far as church, and I guess being religious and spiritual are two different things, right? So I feel like just having like if I have a conversation with God or watch some clips or whatever, like Baba will send me clips, you know, or messages and I'll listen to it, but I don't really connect it necessarily with my mental health.
Okay.
If that makes, I don't know if that makes sense.
No, that do make sense. That makes sense.
And that's your
makes
journey
sense.
too.
Yeah,
That's
makes
your
sense.
journey. There's nothing wrong with that.
That makes sense.
I was just going to say, this is the last thing in terms of that. All I was just going to say is I didn't see my life starting getting better until I invested into those things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because there was a lack of it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I see in my life transpiring now is because I did that first. Because without that, without mental fortitude, making sure you're mentally well and spiritually connected, and this is just what works for me.
Mm-hmm.
Without that shit, I'm not doing what I'm doing right now. That's a fact.
That's true.
So, yeah.
And I think that's great, bro, because, you know, Matt's journey, your journey, Odane's journey, my journey, you know, we might not be able to connect with everyone, but we can connect with someone out there. And us being 4 individuals here, it's 4 million individuals out there that may connect or may not, you know, but that's the importance of us having these conversations and elaborating on, you know, these topics. I got a question for y'all. So, and this is me asking a genuine question. What does spirituality means to you guys? Like, what, like?
It means you're having a relationship with God, in essence.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel the same way too.
Okay.
But I feel as though I talk to God every day, so yeah.
And what's your process when you talk to God? Like, how do you go about it? If you're comfortable sharing, you know what I mean?
It's like showing thanks every day. You know what I mean? Yeah. Being blessed. I don't know.
I'll answer that question too. It's like what I was taught or what I learned recently is to start off by saying thank you. Yeah. You know, like thank you for everything that you have done for me. Like every time, like I want to say Steve Harvey said it before your feet touch the ground. Mm-hmm. You know, like say thank you. Or he also said, you know, I hide my Bible underneath or something underneath my bed or my house shoes underneath my bed so that now I have to get on my knees. Mm-hmm. And once I get on my knees, I thank God, you know, like start my day. So I start my day off by just saying thank you, you know, like for waking me up. Mm-hmm. And then I just basically tell him what I want out of life.
Speak to him throughout the day.
And periodically throughout the day, I'll say thank you. I'll say, you know, like I'll see something and I'll say thank you because there are people that, even though I know my life can be a lot better or I can be in a better position, that there's a lot of people out here, you know, that are struggling, that have it worse off than me. So I'm reminded of it when I drive. So I'm like, yo, thank you, you know, because I see homeless people and I'll be like, thank you for, you know, a house or, you know, multiple destinations where I can lay my head.
Yeah, because that could have been you.
You know,
most definitely. Yeah. Most definitely. What about Mike? What does spirituality look for you? You know, I mean, you did talk about it, but, you know, just to, you know.
It's just, for me, like I said, like I normally have my conversations with God. I believe in a higher power. And I also agree with people whose higher power is different than me. So whatever you need to get to that place that centers you, by all means, I encourage you to do that.
Most definitely.
But for me, like I talk to God mainly when I have like those prayer sessions, I pray. When I had on prayer sessions, I usually do it in the shower. As I'm cleansing myself, it's almost like I'm purifying myself before I like speak
into the
to
world.
him. Before I speak to him, and then obviously like I don't know. I feel much more of a clear mind once I leave. That's how I go about it. I think the only other thing I would say that I've tried to be more intentional about, and I gotta shout out one of my frat brothers, Alan, for doing this. When people ask like they're going through things right then and there, sometimes you be like, yo, I'm gonna keep you in your prayers. You know, like, nah, I pray like right then and there.
Yeah.
In the moment.
Yeah.
In the moment. Like, because
When
if
they
I
need the
don't,
most.
who knows? Like my life might get a little hectic, you know, trying to chase some dream, you know, I'm working, you know, you getting to spend a life and you just forget. So that's
that's factual. You know, like people be like, yo, I'm going to an interview, I'm doing this, or I'm having a lunch with somebody. And like right then and there, I'll send one up. You know, like, I don't know how quick it'll get there, but like right there,
But you make it happen, bro.
You know, like so.
You know, and I can speak on that. I mean, Matt has sent me Bible verses and things like that when we speak on the phone and through text, and it'll help my day. You know, it could be random, and you know, I mean, I might not be in the best place mentally, but it could take me to a higher place.
And, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Like, I'm glad you brought that up because I was supposed to like every day send it to certain people, and I kind of slacked off of that. So I'm gonna make sure, you know, like
Get back on
I
it.
get back on it because I do understand, you know, like because I get it. I get a little, you know, daily scripture sent to my phone, you know, and then it causes me, yo, like, to open up either the Bible and find another verse, but it just helps the whole day like go a little bit smoother, be in a positive mood, and so I understand the power of, you know, a verse or two. So I'll get back on that.
I think one thing that made me think, and this is one thing I definitely want to do because I think it's important, at least the way me and Matt were raised. My dad used to have us do like devotion. I'm not saying that you gotta do that every morning, but every morning, like at like 6 o'clock in the morning, we'd read a verse and talk about it, how we can apply it to our day. And you ain't like, because you know, like you don't have to necessarily read the Bible. You might be Muslim, you might like be Buddhist, you might have whatever works. I think sometimes having that supplication in the morning, like for me, like I would think about it. I used because we had to get up early. And
you tired, you a kid, you don't want to go to school, you grumpy.
You gotta get up.
You like, nigga, I'm just gonna read this,
bro,
man.
There was a point my dad had us getting up every day, bro. I used to hate that shit, bro.
I love that, man.
Well, I'm immature at that point.
Of course,
I've come a long way, my nigga.
Like, in a moment,
it's like you already have Sunday, you already got Wednesday,
like
you already got Thursday,
and
now every day in the morning you got to do.
I'm like, you gotta be.
And don't forget
me.
the Saturdays too, where you got to come in too. Like
that's how that man wanted to raise his kingdom.
You know, like,
but I will say this: it was good. Like I will say this to a point, it provided a good foundation because sometimes when you remember those things, that's the encouragement that it gives you in order to chase the dreams and the goals that you have for yourself. So I ain't even gonna hold you like it wasn't all negative. I will say this though, especially when I think it was our senior year when my dad used to do that shit, bro. I be dead tired.
Wait, time out. Senior year in high school?
In high school. Yeah, in high school, bro. High school, bro. Bro, I used to go, like, I had a Ford
Big Mike,
Escort.
you tripping, Big Mike.
Yo, I had a
mom,
bro,
Mike tripping.
Yo, OD, bro. Yo, I had a Ford Escort, bro. It was older than me at the time.
Sure.
Well, it was older. It's older than me now. If it still worked, bro. I had to turn on Bombs Over Baghdad by Outkast, and I would blast that shit right before I left the crib so I could fucking stay up. Cause I would be so tired. And then we sitting there, we're reading. I'm like, oh, you got it.
and of course we had to take turns. Or today, Matt, it's your day. Mike,
Oh, Matt used to hate that shit.
Hey, Matt, so Matt, I need a visual, man. So what would you do, man, when Pop's like, nigga, read this verse? Matt, what you doing, Matt?
All
you
right,
ain't
so-
talking. You what you doing, man?
I mean,
Yo,
yo, like,
cursing his
in my head, I'm cursing, but
My nigga, bro.
nah, like I just did it as quick as possible, you know, like, and it got
his
to.
answers used to be short.
Oh, how can you apply it? Well, I apply.
Leave me
All
alone.
right, leave me alone. All right, I'm going back to sleep.
My
to get
dad be
another
like, so
15,
there's
20.
nothing else? There's nothing else?
Nope.
I'm like, nigga, he said what he said. Let's go. Let's go.
Keep it moving.
Keep it moving.
And you know how people try to get more out of you. And nah, that's it. That's
I
it.
feel it.
And he was always going to follow up. He was going to say what he was going to say anyway.
Yeah.
So it didn't even matter.
Well, I mean, he want to know what we understood from it, so I get it.
Right.
All right, I got a
thoughts?
question for you. There's a quote that
All right.
says, "Our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate, but that we're powerful beyond measure. It's not our dark, but our light that we're most frightened by." Right.
Mm-hmm.
So when we're reaching or in pursuit of our dream or a dream of success
An achievement. Yeah.
and achievement, and there are things that we're, afraid to do or step out of our comfort zone, or you can just answer the question what you think that quote means to you.
I think the quote means you want to make it so far to that light that you're scared to go back into that darkness. That's what I think that quote means. I feel as though some people's, they have the ability to reach. It could be like life factors that they don't do it. It's just how they're subconsciously wired. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they know they have the potential to reach that, but they're
Not to cut you off, right? But and I'll let everybody else, but just the part about it's not our darkness that most frightens us, it's our light.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's, all right. Revise that. They're scared to go towards the light because they don't know what that light is. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You only got it in your head until you reach there. That's when you know what the light is. The darkness don't scare you. You're used to it.
Is the light a destination, or is the light within?
The light, I'll say within, because you're just so accustomed to just being wired one way when you really need to change yourself to be closer to that light.
All right,
Yeah.
one of y'all answer.
I agree with Odane, man. The light is within, but we perceive it as a destination.
Yeah.
We think that, I gotta work till I get here, when really, and let's say if a person does accomplish it, that was within you the entire time. It wasn't the destination of you accomplishing something, because let's keep it a beam. When you accomplish something, the work only gets harder. And you're there because you have the capability to do so. So, I think that, man, the light is within. I think people do fear success. I think that people fear also achieving that. For me personally, achieving success and losing that success is also a fear.
So achieving it and then losing whatever you built or whatever
Of course, man. That's a big fear as an entrepreneur, bro. Like, because any day a client or a person can be like, I don't want to rock with your business no more, your idea no more. I don't believe in what you're doing anymore. Which, I mean, of course, that's a negative take, but it's also a reality. On a positive note, you got to keep going hard and keep bettering yourself. But yeah, man. People also fear what they don't understand. If I don't know how to get to that light or get to that destination place, am I even good enough from the jump? And to answer that question, you are good enough, you just don't know. You just don't have the answers. I'm big on knowledge. You tell me something once, how to get something, you don't gotta tell me again. I know now, I have the information now, all I gotta do now, and this is where most people slip, they don't apply the things that they learn. You apply the things that you learn, you will be, it's that simple. It's not, but it is simple because you do have to push to an uncomfortable place to be a different version of yourself, a better version of yourself. And it's not easy.
And you gotta keep researching.
Exactly.
Somebody can tell you one thing, and then you just gotta keep researching.
And just answer what you think.
That quote means, I think I like what both of you said. I will say this, that going into a realm or a period where you're truly trying to chase, especially when you don't have somebody who set the stage for you, can be frightening. I think about that phrase personally because I used to think to me, yo, what if I really hit the essence of who I can truly, truly be? I'm talking about I hit every motherfucking it's to you, it feels daunting to the point where you get so afraid, like fear of failure. But it's almost like how am I capable of such greatness?
Why me?
Why that? Like
Right.
nobody else does it. I don't see the typical person doing it. And I think when let's just be real. A lot of people know they got capabilities of doing some things. But let's just be real. You're not gonna step into it if you don't have that like that self-motivation or somebody pushing you, or somebody invested with you or invested in you. You're gonna have those thoughts of just like doubt, especially when you're trying to chase something you don't even understand or grasp.
Right.
You just have an idea.
Right.
You can't see the full picture. And that's the light. Not only this, I think this, like sometimes your life journey will position you in a way where like that the light that you're seeking as it continues, like as it builds and it starts to shine more, it's gonna shed light on some shit that's gonna make people like scatter.
Or uncomfortable.
When people are in the dark and then all of a sudden whatever in the dark comes to the light, sometimes the light will make you vulnerable and make you have to realize, yo, I'm weak in this, or I didn't acknowledge that I went through this. And I gotta motherfucking work on myself in order for me to get to where I gotta go. And honestly, that's partly what I take from the quote. Also, I think like that shedding light also will reveal to you who needs to be in your life or who need to get the fuck out of it. And some people so comfortable, they not gonna deal with that shit. They just be like, all right, I'm gonna crawl back in my den. I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna keep going and doing what I'm doing. I'm gonna stay comfortable. So overall, it's about being comfortable, being uncomfortable.
Sure.
Well, you got some people that would dim your light.
Sure.
That's why you keep ideas to yourself.
Exactly.
When I saw the quote, it was pretty much there that first of all, everything that we need is already within, right? That we need to be successful. And then I feel like that the light, like a lot of times God gives us gifts, abilities, and we don't want, or we're afraid to use them, you know, like either to uplift the kingdom or uplift the community. And once we do it, we'll notice that, you know, like, it's all good. We have the help. We'll have the assistance, you know, that we need to make everything happen.
Right. I love that question.
Yeah.
Well, I'll say this. This has been dope. Yo, Dane, appreciate you for...
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate the
Yes,
homies.
sir.
I love y'all. And we thank you all.
Can't reach that far.
Nah, you all good, bro. But yo, we appreciate y'all for tuning in to our first homies episode. We don't know if we're going to continue, but we love you for coming on, and honestly, like the vibe is real.
Yeah.
So like, yo, we're glad to have you on, my guy, and this was dope. So we appreciate everybody who tuned in. We love y'all. Thank you for the support. I'm gonna just say peace. Thank you.
Man,
on behalf of
y'all,
One
man.
Life Collective and the Black Privilege Podcast. Y'all have a good night.